So when you have a limiting belief, step one is you've got to identify it. It can't be you. You want to separate it from you. So awareness is give that feeling a name. Oh, I call it the whirly wheel or the spin cycle. I have this way that I get where the inside is like, it's like being on the treadmill, like 2 speeds faster than you can comfortably go. And you're like, any minute now, I'm going to go flying off the back. So I know, I'm like, oh, I'm in the whirly wheel. What's happening? In that moment, this is the work. You stop, because we are all so conditioned to avoid our feelings. Twice as true for men in our culture. But we're taught that feelings are weakness and bad, and growing yourself is woo-woo. And hey, you know what I know? I'll do anything that works. And the results are pretty awesome. So sign me up. But when we get to that place where we don't acknowledge that we don't feel good and it's not working, we stuff it. I'll try harder tomorrow. I'll find a better time management system. I'll get frustrated with my staff and roll my eyeballs one more time. I'll pick up a new marketing strategy instead of taking the time to really hone and refine and craft this one. And as a result of that, we just keep stuffing and busying and stuffing and busying and compromising and shrinking. And the net result of that is oftentimes the more successful we become, the less satisfied we feel, because the stress and the complexity and the overwhelm and the feeling of having to keep it all going is a lot. I know, I felt that. My clients feel that. When you're starting, there's all this I have to get going and some enthusiasm on the other side. It's fear of falling. And so it's really about what are the stories that we're telling ourselves. So in that moment, going back to our neural pathway, when you think that thought, you're sending that biochemistry across that pathway. Every night at the end of the night, when you go to sleep, there are cells in your brain called basal ganglia. I call them gardening cells. This is cool. Their job is to clean out the garden. Anything that doesn't belong there and is not useful, it needs to go. So what do we mostly think about before bed? Good stuff, above the line, below the line.
Below the line.
Yeah, most people are like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, tomorrow I've got to do this, blah, blah. So when we think a thought, that is the neural pathway, the biochemistry rate, the biochemicals use that pathway. It's like a marker. So those basal ganglia, the gardening cells, their job every night is to go in and to clean out the neural pathways that aren't getting used. Now, what are the ones that we're using? According to the science, 95% of the time. Right? The ones that keep us, I'm not even going to say they're bad. They just keep us squarely where we are. They keep us squarely rooted in the status quo. If you want to shift, so you can do all the woo-woo thinking and affirmations you want, but at the end of the day, you got to get your brain on board. So each time that happens, Meg, so I'm going to give you an exercise to do, and then you're going to bring that exercise into your daily life. And the exercise is, what's the truth? What's the BS in the belief? And what's the better belief?